Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. We had a little bit of a chaotic day. A few of us woke up on the wrong side of the bed, myself included. It's just been one of those days. It's been busy, and I think we're kind of reaching the end of our rope with staying inside. And Maya's been pretty upset about wanting to see her friends and wanting to hug people and wanting to just get out and about. So I'm sure you can relate, but we just had one of those days today. So it'd be nice to go to bed tonight and wake up fresh tomorrow. But anyways, I did want to share with you some of the activities that we do have on the go, and also share with you just some of the progress. So the hearts that I was talking about yesterday that actually look really pretty on the window. I wish that I could show you, but these actually look really, really pretty on the window with all the tissue paper on them. Callie made one too. We'll just probably trim it up a bit. My Callie made one, and Maya's working on a bigger one, so she's taken a little longer, but we can show you the progress. So we're going to put those on the window, or maybe even give them away as signs of love and appreciation, which is basically what this week is kind of about. We basically, it's about love, as we said, but also just about appreciation. There's lots of appreciation to go around, especially right now with all the frontline workers. Right in our own family, we have my brother-in-law, Andy. He's a paramedic. We also have my mother and father-in-law are both considered essential workers and are both at work every day. So we do have a lot of appreciation to go around. And so this week is just kind of about talking about love, appreciation, just kind of acknowledging some of those people. So on that note, we just have activities to kind of go around that. So let me get into telling you some of them. Okay, so the two books that we read, and two books that are always favorites with the girls regarding love, are Love You Forever by Robert Munsch, and I'm sure a lot of you know about this story, and the girls just think it's quite amusing that a mother would still try to hold her grown son and just and still say, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be, because the girls are so offended if they get called baby, but I'm allowed to call them baby because I said, as long as I'm living, you'll always be my baby. And so they always love that story and always find it very amusing that a mother would love her child so much. And the other one that their girls absolutely love is called I Love You, Stinky Face. And it's written by Lisa McCourt. And so as a mother lovingly tucks her child into bed, he is a very imaginative child, and he asks all sorts of questions, such as, would you love me if I were an alligator with big sharp teeth that could bite your head off? And this unstoppably devoted mother will have readers laughing out loud as she replies to one question ever after another. Never was a parent's unconditional love so creatively tested or so beautifully reassured. It's an excellent book. So many funny examples of how she will reply to, would you love me if, and then there's all these absurd examples that this child has, and she has awesome examples. So that's another story just talking about unconditional love, and so that's kind of been a topic of conversation around here, especially when recently emotions have been a little higher, and we talked about the fact that we can be upset with each other and feel annoyed with each other and be on edge with each other, but still love each other, because we talked about unconditional love, and Maya's pretty curious about those different types of topics, so it's kind of cool. So we've been chatting a bit about that lately. Another thing, the girls are feeling pretty, I think we can agree that a lot of us feel like caged animals right now, and so what we wanted to do was try to show people we love them, but without being able to really see them right now in person. So what we've decided to do is to send some hugs to people. So we have a huge roll of butcher block paper, which is fantastic, from Staples. We use it for so many different things. But we had each of the girls lie down today, and we traced them, and then they drew their own face on them. And then Craig drew them, Callie colored them in. Some of Callie's favorites. She loves birds, so she's relating to flamingos, ducks, and penguins. And so this is a giant Callie hug. And we have Maya's there just waiting to be cut out as well. She just finished coloring it. And so we are going to give people hugs, or sort of like tokens of our love and appreciation for them. So that's one idea. Another idea we talked about is thank you notes, and how it's always nice to love and appreciate someone and acknowledge something that they've done through a thank you note. And I was raised, my mom always had us send thank you notes for everything, and just sort of I continue to do that today, just to show my appreciation for things. So we're having the girls, we're going to be writing some kind of thank yous to some of the essential workers, and some people, starting with some people in our life, and then we're going to look beyond to see where else maybe we could help in the community where else they could use some help right now. So, because we're just kind of feeling helpless, and on Love Week, what a better time for us to try to explore other ways that we could help. So, yeah, this year in particular, I had a few different health challenges, and the people that stepped up to help, whether it was bringing meals or helping with the kids or, just helping to babysit, it was just amazing to see. And then after, I also broke my ankle as well, particularly my hockey team, and Kim and Julie, two of the members of the hockey team, really stepped up and just helped with meals and brought me some little things in the hospital. And I just have so much appreciation for that. And it just was so unnecessary, and so thoughtful and just so appreciated by me. So just want to really make sure this week that I'm taking the time to appreciate people that I should be, and really talking to the girls. Today, as I said, was a little bit moody in our household, and so at dinner, to try to change the mood, we tried to talk about some good things that happened today, and just to kind of like appreciate some of the good things that happened today, instead of just going to bed or focusing on the things that went wrong today. So anyways, I did go to the hospital today. I had an appointment to have my ankle checked out. I did try to persuade Dr. Girardi to let me start walking on it at 3 weeks, because I tested it out and it was good to go. I was given a definite no for 3 more weeks. The bone is beautiful because it's put back together with all sorts of metals and screws and plates, but he's just worried about the tendons and connective tissues, and just making sure that I'm really letting that have a chance to really heal up. That way I don't have any permanent arthritis or whatever. So anyways, thankful that it's looking good, but a little disappointed to still not be walking for 3 weeks. So anyways, on to our next activity. The next thing that we had today, just sort of as like a little math activity, was you can just take some dice. And this is actually really popular to play also in primary education. But in primary, we have dice that are more than just 6-sided, or they have bigger numbers on them. But we have dice, you can get dice, obviously, that are more than 6-sided, tons of different sides. And all you do is you just take the dice and you roll it. And then whatever number you get, so for example, I got 6. So Maya would quickly add that up if I was doing it with her. And then she would take 6 objects from just my random jar of manipulatives, of random jewels and stuff from around my house that the girls love to play with. And then she would take 6 in her pile. And then, at school you might call it race to 100. We might play race to 40, whatever. But it's the first person to get to 40 or whatever, whatever number you choose. So another way you can do it to try to keep track of all your objects is by using those 10 frames I talked about. Now I have them here. Just let me lean over and get them. These are the ones. So I have both of them. I have either these homemade ones, the popsicle stick ones, or these. I have a whole bunch of these. So the girls could use these to track, because then you have 10, 20, 30, 40. So that might be a good number to use. So as you get whatever you roll, you put your objects, and if you have this lying down, you put your objects in, and then you just play the first to 40. And then you can also go backwards if your child is ready to, you can start taking away the number every time. So if you roll a 6, you got to 40, roll a 6, you take it away, and then it's the first person back to 0. So we did not play this today because as I said, it was one of those days. We kind of got the necessary things done, and the only other thing we did was crafts today. So this is still on the agenda for today. And also Maya has not done her kindergarten homework for her kindergarten class, so that's still on the agenda as well. So for Callie, I would probably just play with 1 dice, and then she can just add the object. So still fun, but more manageable for Callie. Now, if you wanted an extension for that, another thing that is important for children to learn is tally marks in groups of 5. So what you also could just do if your child is a little more advanced and has sort of the number comprehension, is you could just use tally marks to 40 or whatever. So that's just a fun little math game. In terms of any sort of literacy activity today, I should have mentioned when we talked about gratitude and appreciation and people we're thankful for, we kind of made a list. So that was sort of our writing for today. And even doing things like list making, like even making a grocery list, that's a great way for your kids to be included. And as you're writing your grocery list, just kind of just think out loud and over enunciate things like, oh, I wonder how I would spell bananas, bah, and then just kind of do it like that. And we've done that too. And then it's just kind of like a shared writing with the kids. So that's really simple and very practical. Okay, so the last thing that we did today, just kind of for fun, as I told you yesterday, we did get out the Valentine's Day bin, and with it is all of our heart stuff. So the girls came across all sorts of fun stuff and reinvigorated some of the stuff we only had out 2 months ago or whatever. I guess March, April, May, 3, I guess now. So what we decided to do is make our own crayons today, because in our crayon bin we noticed that we have so many crayons that once they become little stubs, they are undesired. They are no longer used. They are not enjoyed, so we don't tend to use them as much. So all you do is, so in this case I have one of these IKEA ones. So we already did a trial run and we already had a small sampling of crayons made today. But let me just quickly explain. Super easy to do. So all you're going to do is go through and take all your forgotten crayons, strip off the paper, and break them into whatever size you want. Now, because we love rainbows around here, we are doing all of ours, well, a lot of them so far. This is our second batch in rainbow colors, and we actually, our other batch is just finishing up. So this one is going to be rainbow colors. You could do them all solid colors. You could do them just a mixture of whatever colors you want, hot and cool colors, whatever. But all you're going to do is take off the paper. Then you're going to put them in a microwave safe container. You're going to put them in the microwave for, start with 2 minutes. You're going to check on them every 2 minutes, but it'll probably end up being about 5 minutes. Now keep in mind, these are going to get extremely hot. So obviously be very cautious when you go in your microwave. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take them out and then you're going to put them in the freezer. Again, being very cautious how hot it's going to be. Put it in your freezer for about 30 minutes and then you're left with really cool crayons. And then suddenly your old, your forgotten and shunned crayons are beautiful, beautiful new fun ones. So I know that we have a few different IKEA mold ones. We are using the heart ones just because of Love Week, but I know that we also have a star one. We also have one that looks like a little popsicle. So you could just use a regular, although I don't think a regular tray could necessarily go in the microwave. If you had a microwave safe dish, then you could put it in your ice cube tray and then put them in your freezer. You could just try different options. But if you want to see an actual, I'm not very transient right now, as you know, with my broken ankle, so I can't really move around. If we're still doing this in a few weeks and I can walk again, then I can maybe demonstrate for you. But for today, I'm just going to explain. But you can look on YouTube for lots of other ways to do it as well. So anyways, a few different books today, a few different conversation starters, such as what do you appreciate, how can you show people love. If you wanted, you could send a hug to someone, or you could send little gifts to someone, or we might even put something on our window thanking essential services. We'll just kind of see what we decide to do. We don't have a very big house, so we don't really have much in the way of, we don't have that much window space, but maybe we'll give that a try. And making crayons, a fun little math game, race to 40 or whatever you want to do. And I think that's about it. So anyways, fingers crossed that you had a nice day. Fingers crossed that I'm in a better mood tomorrow. And I look forward to reconnecting and hopefully seeing some more pictures of stuff that you guys have been up to. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, bye.